Welcome all. Today we will start module 4. So module 4 consists of some BJT circuits like BJT as an amplifier, BJT as a switch. Then after that we will study feedback amplifier, after that oscillators, then we will study 555 timer. So multi vibrator using 555 timer. So these are the topics included in module 4. So in this lecture we will be discussing about BJT as an amplifier, BJT as a switch, then the basic principle of feedback amplifier. So BJT is nothing but a transistor, bipolar junction transistor. So transistor is nothing but it is a three-terminal device. Transistor is a three-terminal device known as emitter, base and collector. Emitter, base and collector. So based on the materials which we are using, it can be either NPN or it can be PNP. So it's like nothing like either a p-type material sandwiched between two n-type material or a n-type material sandwiched between two p-type material. So you can see it is a three-terminal and two junction device. You can see two junctions here, two PN junctions here. So it is a two junction three terminal device. So emitter, base and collector. So emitter is the one which emits the charge carrier. Either it can be an electron or a hole. So emitter emits the charge carrier and collector collects it. So that because of the name emitter and collector. So transistor, the transistor name came from transfer of resistance. So there is a high resistance and low resistance region. So transfer of resistance, so the name transistor arises. So as I told, it's a three-terminal device known as emitter, base and collector. So the basic current equation of a transistor is emitter current is equal to base current plus collector current. So this base current is always very less in the range of microamperes and emitter current and collector current in the range of milliamperes. So since this base current is very less, we can write IE is almost equal to IC. Emitter current is almost same as collector current, only a small portion is given to the base. So IB is very less in the range of microampere range. So this is the symbol of a transistor. So this is an NPN transistor. So this arrow mark, if it is like this outwards, then it is an NPN transistor. And a PNP transistor can be drawn as like this. PNP inside, inward. So it is a PNP transistor and the first one is an NPN transistor. So this is the base terminal, this is the collector and this is the emitter. One with arrow mark is emitter. So this is a symbol of a transistor. Next, coming upon the region of operation. So we can tell there are two junctions. As we seen, there are two junctions. So this is the emitter, this is base and this is collector. So we have emitter base junction and collector base junction. So we have two junctions, junction number 1 and junction number 2, emitter base and collector base junction. So if the emitter base junction, if the emitter base and collector base both are forward biased, if both the junctions are forward biased, then that mode of operation is known as saturation. If both are reverse biased, then that region is known as cutoff. That mode of operation is known as cutoff. And if emitter base is forward biased and collector base is reverse biased, then it is active mode. It is active mode. And one more is the if emitter base is reverse biased and collector base is forward biased, then it is known as reverse active. Reverse active, which is not much used. Okay, so when the transistor works under active mode, it will act as an amplifier. So for an amplifier application, the emitter base junction should be forward biased and collector base junction should be reverse biased. And under switch application, switch means on and off condition, the transistor should be under saturation and cutoff. So these are the various modes of operation of a transistor. Next, configuration of configuration of a transistor. We have common base configuration, common emitter configuration, and common collector configuration. So we have seen the transistor is used as a amplifier. Transistor is used as a amplifier. So if the base is taken as common, if this is base, emitter and collector, if base is taken as common and input is given between emitter and base and output is taken between collector and base, then this type of configuration is known as common base configuration. This type of configuration is known as common base. Base is common to the input and output. And if emitter, base, collector, if emitter is common, and input is given between emitter and base and output is taken between emitter and collector, then it is known as common emitter configuration. Same way, if collector is common and input is given between base and collector and output is taken between emitter and collector, then it is known as common collector configuration. So these are the three possible configurations for a transistor when it is using as an amplifier or when it is using in any of the application. So this much about the basics of amplifier. And one more thing, we have to study some gain in a transistor. So we have alpha, beta and gamma. Under common base, the current gain is known as alpha. Under common emitter, the current gain is known as beta. And under common collector configuration, current gain is known as gamma. So under common base is common. Input current is nothing but input current is IE and output current is IC. Base is common. So input is given between emitter and base. Output is taken from collector and base. So emitter current is the input current. Collector current is the output current. So what is the current gain? Alpha. Output by input. So IC by IE. Next, in the case of common emitter is common. So the input current is IB. Output current is IC. So the current gain beta is equal to IC by IB. So last one, under common collector, input is IE and input is IB and output is IE. So the current gain gamma is equal to output by input IE by IB. So these are alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha is nothing but IC by IE. Alpha is equal to IC by IE and beta is equal to IC by IB and gamma is equal to IE by IB. Okay, these are some basics of the transistor. So now we directly go to the first topic, that is transistor as an amplifier. Okay. So module 3, first topic, transistor as an amplifier. So what is an amplifier? Amplifier is nothing but it's a transistor circuit which amplifies the input signal. That means input will be, if the input is a sine wave, the output will be the amplified version of itself. So the remaining all the parameters will be same, only amplitude will be changing. So the amplification is nothing but increasing the magnitude of the input signal. Remaining all the parameters remain unchanged. So here the transistor is a current control device. What do you mean by current control device? Current control device means the output current IC is controlled by the input current IB. So IC is equal to beta into IB. For the common emitter configuration, we have seen IC is equal to current gain beta into IB. So transistor is a current control device, that is collector current is equal to base current multiplied by the current gain beta. So the base current, since it is very small compared to the emitter and collector current, we can write, this is the current equation of a transistor, IE, emitter current is equal to base current plus collector current. So since IB is very small, we can write IE is almost equal to IC. emitter current is almost equal to collector current. So this circuit is a simple amplifier circuit, common emitter amplifier circuit, basic transistor amplifier circuit. So you can see a NPN transistor. Here NPN transistor is there. Its base, emitter is common. Emitter is common at the input and at the output. So it is a common emitter amplifier. Okay, so the input sine wave to be amplified is applied to the base of the transistor through the resistor RB. The amplified signal will be available at the collector, that is collected across the load resistance or collector resistance RC. For the functioning of the transistor, DC bias has to be applied, or DC voltage has to be applied, that has been shown here through VCC and VBB. So this is the circuit diagram, simple circuit diagram of a common emitter amplifier circuit. So the voltage here available will be the input voltage Vin, which is a AC voltage, and VBB, which is a DC voltage. So VBB plus Vin, and output voltage will be getting at collector VC plus VCC. So here VCC is a DC voltage and VC is a AC voltage. So we can see here, this is the input output voltage waveform of a transistor amplifier. So this is the input signal sine wave Vin, which is superimposed with the DC voltage VBB. So normally we will draw a sine wave like this with respect to 0, ground, with respect to 0. But here this Vin is superimposed with the DC voltage VBB. So we will be drawing, this is VBB line, a DC voltage VBB, above which input voltage is superimposed. Same way output voltage will be VCC, this is VCC line, above which collector voltage VC is superimposed. So you can see there is a increase in the amplitude. So amplification is happening, and for a common emitter amplifier there will be phase inversion, or the input and output will be 180 degree out of phase. There will be a phase difference. So you can see here clearly, input is positive half cycle, output is negative half cycle. So this is the circuit diagram and waveform of a common emitter transistor amplifier circuit. So the details which I have explained is given here. AC voltage Vin is to be amplified, is superimposed on a DC voltage VBB with the base resistor RB, and DC voltage VCC is connected on the collector through the collector resistor RC. So the Vin, input voltage Vin, produces a AC base current IB. Due to this input sine wave, a base current IB will be produced, which results in much larger AC voltage across RC. So across the load resistor or collector resistor, okay. So due to this IB, a much larger voltage is will be available at the collector RC, which is amplified and inverted version of the AC input signal. So input signal is applied to the base, due to which IB will be produced. Due to this IB, a large inverted version of the input signal will be available across the resistor RC. Next we will draw the AC equivalent circuit of this amplifier circuit. In order to derive the expression for gain of the amplifier, we are going to draw the AC equivalent circuit of this particular circuit. What do you mean by AC equivalent circuit? AC equivalent circuit means all the DC voltages present should be considered as 0. These all things should be considered as 0. Then the resulting signal is the AC equivalent circuit. Okay, so we will see it how it will be. Make all DC sources equal to 0, that is VBB is equal to VCC is equal to 0, and the base emitter junction is forward biased. So due to that, it have a very low input resistance given by RE dash. This is the first, emitter base junction is forward biased. Its input resistance is very low. We have studied in the case of diode, its input resistance is very low. So an internal resistance has been considered given by RE dash. Okay. So this figure gives the AC equivalent circuit of that amplifier. You can see here VBB is equal to 0 and VCC is equal to 0. So input current IB is marked. Here the voltage available at the base VB is marked. Output current IC is marked and output voltage VC is marked. Current flowing through the emitter IE is marked. So now in order to derive the expression for gain of the amplifier, we will consider remaining equations of the current flowing through the circuit. So we have seen IB the input base current, IC the collector current and IE the emitter current. And similarly VB is the transistor AC input voltage. The input voltage for this transistor, that is VB, and VC is the transistor AC output voltage. So input, since we have given an input voltage of sine wave, this sine wave available at the base, that is known as VB, and the output available at the collector is known as VC. Okay, so the emitter current IE which is almost equal to collector current IC can be written as VB by RE dash, can be written as VB divided by RE dash. So you can see here the base emitter junction is there. This is the emitter and this is the base. So base emitter junction we have an internal resistance RE dash. The input voltage available at the base is VB. So the current flowing through the circuit IE is equal to VB divided by internal resistance RE dash. So VB by RE dash is nothing but the emitter current, or thereby it is known as the collector current. And we have the AC collector voltage VC, the voltage available here, can be written as IC into RC. This is RC. So voltage available at this point is nothing but current flowing through that point into resistance available there. So VC is equal to IC into RC, which can be written as IE into RC. And one more equation, what is this voltage available at the base VB? VB is nothing but, so this is the transistor base, and we have a resistance here and we have an input voltage V in here. Current flowing through this is IB. So what is the voltage available here? VB is nothing but V in minus IB into RB. V in minus IB into RB. So these three equations, remember, emitter current IE is equal to VB by RE dash, VC is equal to IC into RC or IE into RC, VB is equal to V in minus IB into RB. So what is voltage gain? Gain means what? Gain means output by input. So if it is in terms of voltage gain, it is output voltage divided by input voltage. If it is current gain, output current divided by input current. So for an amplifier circuit, what is the output voltage? sorry. So for an amplifier circuit, what is the output voltage? Output voltage is nothing but Vc. What is the input voltage? For an amplifier, the input voltage is Vin. So voltage gain AV or A is equal to Vc divided by Vin. So we have to get an expression for this one. AV is equal to Vc divided by Vin. So AV is equal to Vc divided by Vin. So we are considering it as very small IB current, right? So IB is very small. So since we are considering Vin is almost equal to VB case, so AV is equal to voltage gain AV is equal to Vc divided by base voltage VB. So that is nothing but IE by RC divided by IE by RA dash. IE will get cancelled. What remains is RC by RA dash. So voltage gain AV is nothing but the resistance connected at the collector divided by internal resistance of the transistor. So RC by RA dash. So RC will be in the range of certain kilo ohm. So RA dash will be very less. So since RC is very greater than RA dash, the output voltage is always greater than the input voltage. So you can see here numerator is very less. So this entire term will be very high. That means gain is very high. Gain is very high means what? Output voltage is equal to gain into input voltage. So gain is very high means output will be the amplified version of input. Output will be always greater than the input voltage. That means output voltage Vc is amplified version of Vb. Vc is an amplified version of Vb. So we have seen voltage gain. Next term is current gain. What is current gain? Current gain AI is equal to, gain means output current by input current. So output current of an amplifier is IC by IB. In the case of common emitter, it is IC by IB, which is nothing but beta, we already know. So since IC is very much greater than IB, beta is very high or large. AI is equal to IC by IB. IC is very much greater than IB. So AI, current gain of an amplifier, is very high. Similarly, we will see power gain. So what do you mean by power gain? So power, normally power is equal to voltage into current. So power gain AP is equal to voltage gain into current gain. So AP is equal to AV into AI. AP is equal to AV into AI. So this is the working of a transistor as an amplifier. So this question used to be asked in university exam, so you have to study it. So now we will see one small simple problem. So this question is, the transistor amplifier has a voltage gain of 50. So AV is equal to 50. What is the output voltage when the input voltage is 100 millivolt? So gain is equal to 50, input voltage is 100 millivolt. So what is the output voltage? So direct question, we have gain AV is equal to VO by VI. So AV is given, VO is given. So VI is equal to VI is equal, we need to find VO. VO is equal to AV into Vin. That means 50 into 100 millivolt, that is 5 volt. Just direct substitution. One more problem. An amplifier has an input signal of 0.25 volt. That means VB is equal to 0.25 and draws 1 milliampere from the source. That means IB is equal to 1 milliampere. It delivers 8 volt to a load. That means load means collector. So VC is equal to 8 volt at a current of 10 milliampere. So IC is equal to 10 milliampere. Determine voltage gain, current gain and power gain. So what is voltage gain? Voltage gain is nothing but VC by VB. VC by VB, that means 8 divided by 0.25. 8 divided by 0.25 is 32. Current gain is IC by IB. 10 milliampere divided by 1 milliampere, that is 10. What is power gain? AV into AI. Voltage gain into current gain. 32 into 10, that is 320. So gain means voltage by voltage or current by current. That means gain is not having any unit. Gain is having no units. Okay. Next we will see the second application of a amplifier circuit, that is BJT as a switch. BJT as a switch. So what do you mean by switch? Switch is a device which will be either in on or off condition. When it is on, turn on, switch is on means it will act as a closed loop. That means current will flow through the circuit. When it is off, it will act as an open circuit. So there is no current flow. Current is equal to 0. So switch is on means switch act as a closed circuit. So the current will be flowing through circuit. Switch is off means it will act as an open circuit. So the current flow will be 0. So BJT is used as an electronic switch and it is operated alternatively in cutoff and saturation. So I have told, when it is acting as an amplifier, the BJT should be in active mode or active region. When under switch condition, it should be in saturation or cutoff. So the same has been shown in the table here. So if it is cut off means open condition, both should be in reverse bias, both junction, base emitter and base collector should be under reverse bias, and saturation means switch is closed or switch is on, both junction should be forward biased. So we'll see how the transistor behaves under these two regions in cutoff and saturation. So what do you mean by cutoff condition? So you can see here a transistor circuit, a simple transistor circuit where the base is connected with the input voltage through a resistance RB and the supply voltage VCC is given for the operation, DC voltage VCC is given, and the output is taken from the collector through the resistor RC. Okay, so this is the circuit. So under cutoff condition, the input voltage is equal to 0. That means voltage available at the base is equal to 0. That means base current is equal to 0. So if base current is equal to 0, what is IC? IC is equal to beta into IB. So if base current is 0, obviously collector current is also 0. So you can see here IC is also 0. So what is the meaning of that? There is no current flow through the circuit. There is no current flow means it will act as a open circuit. So you can see here VCC, RC, between the collector and emitter there is no current flow means it acts as a open circuit. So switch is open. So when the switch is open, what is the voltage between collector and emitter? What is the voltage between collector and emitter? It is an open, right? So the entire VCC will be available at this open circuit. It is open here. Here we are applying a VCC. Since there is no current, there is no drop across resistance RC. So across this open circuit, entire VCC will be available. That is shown here. So that voltage between the collector and emitter under open circuit is known as VCE cutoff. VCE cutoff is nothing but VCC. So you can see here in this particular condition, the base emitter junction is reverse biased. So base current IB is equal to 0. Since IC is equal to beta into IB, IC is also equal to 0. So no drop across RC, entire VCC will be available across VCE. VCE means collector emitter. So VCE is known as VCE cutoff, that is equal to VCC, which is nothing but an open circuit. In this case, switch is open circuit means switch is off condition. Okay, next is saturation. Under saturation, what will happen? Under saturation, we are giving a input voltage Vin. That means this base emitter junction is forward biased. Okay, so we have given a input voltage Vin. So this input voltage is sufficient enough to produce a base current IB. So due to this base current IB, there will be a maximum collector current IC, which is represented by IC saturation. So there will be a current flow across collector emitter terminal, so it will act as a closed circuit. So now what is the voltage across collector and emitter? What is the voltage across collector and emitter? It is actually VCC minus IC into RC. VCC minus IC into RC. Since IC is very high, almost that value will be almost equal to 0 because large drop will be present across the resistance RC. So VCC minus ICRC will be very small, almost equal to 0. So you can see here this will act as a closed circuit and VCE is known as VCE saturation, which is almost equal to 0. Under cutoff it is known as VCE cutoff. So that value is equal to VCC, and under saturation it is VCE sat, that value is also equal to almost 0. And there will be a large collector current IC saturation flowing. So here the base emitter junction and base collector junctions are forward biased under saturation condition. So the base current is sufficiently large enough to make a collector current to reach its saturation value IC sat. So therefore VCE is equal to VCE sat is equal to 0. That means it's a short circuit. Next we will see the equation. I told you under saturation what is this IC sat? What is this current IC under saturation? This IC is nothing but VCC minus VCE by RC. Here VCC is there, here VCE is there. So VCC minus VCE by RC is nothing but IC sat. So you can see here IC sat is equal to VCC minus VCE sat by RC, which is almost equal to 0. So IC sat is VCC by RC. So one more thing, what is IB minimum? So IB minimum is nothing but the minimum value of the base current in order to keep the transistor in saturation. So IB is equal to IC by beta, we know that equation. So IB minimum is equal to IC saturation divided by beta. So that is the minimum current required to keep the transistor under saturation. So minimum current required, IB minimum is equal to IC sat divided by beta. So we will see one problem. So in the circuit shown, what is the value of IB necessary to produce saturation? So we need to find IB minimum. And what is the minimum value of V in necessary for saturation? So once we are getting IB minimum, we have to see the input voltage corresponding to that minimum base current IB. So we have to assume VCE sat is equal to 0. So see the circuit here, circuit is given. The circuit, the supply voltage VCC is equal to plus 5, RB is equal to 1 mega ohm, RC is equal to 10 kilo ohm, beta DC or simply beta is equal to 150. So assuming VCE sat is equal to 0, what is IC sat? IC sat is equal to VCC divided by RC, both are given. So 5 by 10K, that is 500 microampere. What is IB minimum? Minimum value of the base current is IC sat divided by beta DC. So that means 500 micro divided by 150, that is 3.33 microampere. So this is the minimum base current required for keeping the transistor in saturation. Now what is the input voltage V in? So you can see here, this is V in, this is IB. So here this is the base emitter junction. So we know the voltage between a forward biased PN junction diode is cutoff voltage 0.7 for silicon and 0.3 for germanium. So the voltage available between this base and emitter VBE is equal to 0.7 voltage. 0.7 voltage. So how will write the equation for IB here? In this particular loop, if you are applying KVL, it is V in minus IB into RB minus VBE is equal to 0. That is V in minus IB RB minus VBE, base emitter junction voltage 0.7 is equal to 0. In this equation, what is IB? IB is nothing but V in minus VBE divided by RB. So you can see here IB is equal to V in minus VBE by RB. So IB minimum is equal to V in minimum minus VBE by RB. So IB minimum is known, VB is known, RB is known. So after substituting, we can find what is V in. V in minimum we are getting as 4.03 volt. So that is the minimum voltage required to keep the transistor in saturation. So next one more problem. One more problem that we will see at the end. So next one more application of a transistor as a switch. So transistor switch circuit to switch on and off an LED lamp. So here we are using this transistor as a switch to turn on and off a LED. and a lamp. So here in this example LED is shown. So you can see here this is nothing but a transistor circuit. So input is given to the base through the resistor RB, and the output we have connected the resistor RC, then we have connected the LED here. So LED is connected at the collector. So since it is a common emitter configuration, output is taken across the collector. So the output across the collector we have connected the LED lamp, and the operation is controlled by the power supply voltage VCC. So input V in, what we have applied, the input V in what we are applying is a square wave. The input voltage what we are applying is a square wave. So square have a high and a low area. So what will happen when it is 0 and when it is high? So you can see the square wave consists of a low, then a high, then again a low. When it is low, that means V in is equal to 0. When V in is equal to 0, what will be the input current IB? IB is equal to 0. When IB is equal to 0, IC is equal to 0. So there is no current flow. So this no current flow means this LED is under off condition. It will not emit light. So LED is under off. When the square wave is under 0, LED is off. So input is a square wave. When the square wave is at 0 volt, transistor is cut off. That means IB is equal to 0, IC is equal to 0. So LED does not emit light. Next, when the square wave goes high, V in is present, so IB is present. So IB will produce an IC. Due to this current flow, LED is forward biased, so it will turn on and light will be emitted. So you can see here, when the square wave goes to high, transistor saturates. This forward biases the LED, and resulting current through LED causes a light to emit. So here blinking of LED occurs. When V in is high, LED is on, and when V in is equal to 0, LED is off. So this is one important application of switch in order to turn on and off an LED lamp. In syllabus, one more application has to be studied, that is the transistor controlling a relay circuit. So that I'll give you as a small assignment. You can refer to Google or something and you can write down. So how the transistor will control a relay circuit, thereby control a lamp. So that I have the notes with me, that I'll give you later. Now you can write it as an assignment. So the next topic is feedback amplifier. So in this video now we have considered transistor as an switch and as an amplifier, and one application turning on and off an LED. Okay, so these many things we have seen. The next topic is feedback amplifier. So what is a feedback amplifier? What is its principle? What do you mean by negative feedback? Its advantages, disadvantages, types. So those all things we will see in the next video. Thank you.